And I'm Telly.
And we are the HerCastleGirls.
Hello!
We are mindset mavens, as we like to call ourselves.
That we are.
We make videos about mindset, motivation, business, and life, personal development, spiritual aspects, and spiritual journeys. That's what we talk about. So if you love all that stuff, definitely subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and give us a like on this video if you like.
We always love hearing from you guys. It's always refreshing to know that our content is really, helping people.
Exactly. This week's episode, we are talking about spiritual journeys.
Yes.
And basically our own personal experiences with personal journeys. Mm-hmm. And we're even going to pull in some of our favorite pieces of literature that we have, read and have been inspired by as we move through our own spiritual journeys. So we're calling this episode of It's All Connected by HerCastleGirls, the journey of spirituality. And this is episode 9 of our podcast.
9.
Yeah. Get your notebook, take some notes, and see how this episode can help you. And if you want to hear absolutely everything that happened during our chat, check us out on all platform streaming services that you love. It's All Connected by HerCastleGirls will be there. We're gonna get into this chat. Let's go.
Let's get into it. Today we talk about the spiritual journey and how it can seem strenuous and rewarding all at the same time. We will reference the Celestine Prophecy, some sacred contract conversations, and more.
So I've never felt more connected to my divine source more than I do today. And I really do think that is because of the willingness that I've had to just get onto this spiritual path, and and allow that connection to get stronger. I remember us having a conversation about it, and we laughed because some would think, we always had this spiritual life, right? We grew up, actually, for those that don't know, we actually grew up in a very Christian-based household.
Yep.
And you would think, oh, okay, so that means you guys never had any issues with exploring spirituality or admitting to spirituality. I want to talk about, just for a few minutes, talk about the pros and the cons of growing up in a home. Let's say, growing up in a Christian home, but then realizing that there's this whole spiritual world out there. And maybe there's more out there than what you've learned, between, 4 walls of a church or a temple. So let's talk about the pros first.
Okay.
I think one of the pros would be, when we were little and, you would see, angels or, around the house or things like that.
Definitely.
People in the household would be like, oh, that's great. Tell me more about it. They'd be excited. They'd be happy that, my little child can see things. It's like the Sixth Sense, just not as evil.
Not as scary.
Not as scary. But, I would say that's one of, the pros. Another pro is, just the introduction to spirituality. Like knowing there is something out there that is greater than us in our human flesh, our human temple.
Another pro is that you felt like you're not alone because you're going to gather with other Christians, or depending on whatever your religion is, you get to see them depending on how many times a week you go to service, and they all experience the same thing, so you really feel like you're in this cool club or something. So there's a relation there, so you really feel like you're part of this amazing spiritual team.
What are the cons of kind of becoming spiritually awakened and then having a background that is based in a religion like Christianity?
I feel a downfall, I'm just speaking, I'm trying to put myself as an outsider looking in. I feel that a downfall would be more exploration into Christianity or whatever it is, because no one knows everything.
Right.
We merely just scratch the surface. So I feel like before you were saying there's probably so much more. I feel like there is a lot more than what we've been taught, than what human beings could probably even encompass in our minds. So I do feel like that's a con where you're never really going to know the full thing. Another like downfall is because you're so strong in your spiritual journey, sometimes when you tell other people, they'll be like, what are you talking about?
Well, and that's the thing too.
I guess, right?
I do want to talk a bit about when you're spiritually awakened and you're on this journey, people begin to look at you and say, well, why are you reading another book other than the Bible?
Right.
Why do you have that deck of cards?
Right. Yeah. They're so quick.
And they're very quick to say, oh, it's witchcraft.
Exactly.
Or, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because they don't understand. So it's so easy with everything.
Agreed.
It's what you don't understand, you begin to hate or you begin to talk down on.
Exactly.
And we don't look at, spirituality is very connected to religion, but I really do think that the two are separate.
Oh, I agree. Religion, and this is just from our perspective.
Right.
Religion is like, I feel bad. Well, not really. I feel like it's more like a business kind of thing. Like it's more like, these are the rules, do. And whereas spiritual journey is really dealing with your soul.
Yeah.
Really dealing with you and your relationship.
And that connection that you have with your divine source and using your intuition to move through life, whether you be, a leader in spirituality, are you being motivated by, like you said, business, or are you more so motivated by helping people? Why do you think people are afraid of bringing spirituality into their life?
I think it is, and I could be like totally off, but I have a feeling that people are afraid of even trying because maybe they think in their mind, oh, what if I start and then there's I decide that I want to take a little sip of some wine or I want to go clubbing with my friends, whatever it is, and I guess they feel that, oh, there's a voice in my head saying, you're wrong, and who knows why people do things that they do.
But is that motivated by religion or spirituality?
That's it. I feel that it might be motivated by religion.
Like, I do think that the two get intertwined sometimes, and we feel that, religion, very much religion, says, you can't do certain things.
Right, agreed. There are rules
and there are rules
to
and
follow.
Stuff, and the more you follow these rules, like the higher you probably go in your religion.
Possibly.
The more dedication you show.
Right.
But I also do feel that spirituality is literally here for humans so that we can move through life a lot easier than we do without it.
Yeah.
I believe it's sort of like a map or something.
Most definitely.
And I think it's actually a lot deeper than like what you said. I think that religion really just skims the surface of how deep spirituality can go.
I think so too. It's because like when you go through the Bible and you kind of say to yourself, okay, well it just can't end there. There's so much depth to the spiritual life.
And I do think that's why people just kind of keep it aside because of the whole, well, I don't know. So because I don't know, it's just easier to leave spirituality by the wayside and continue on doing whatever.
So recently, Carcia and I, we watched the Celestine Prophecy based on the book of the same name, written by James Redfield. Throughout the story, we learn 9 insights. First insight, we are discovering again that we live in a deeply mysterious world, full of sudden coincidences and synchronicities, encounters that seem destined.
Yeah, and I think this one is something definitely for people that are on a spiritual journey, and maybe you're listening, watching this, and you are on one. There are those days where you sit back and you say to yourself, isn't it funny how this happened to me at this time, and then I met this person, and then I ended up working at this one place, and then that one thing happened. And you can literally string things together and see how each thing led to a higher good.
Right.
And
even the unfortunate things.
Yeah, I mean, there are lots of unfortunate things that I can talk about now where I'm like,
oh yeah,
that was a horrible situation, and then this great thing came out of it.
Absolutely.
So there is a connection to that. But the thing is as human beings, we're so easily distracted. We're busy. We don't realize the synchronicities that happen.
Right.
We just look at things and say, oh, that's interesting. But when you look back upon your life, and I would ask everyone who's listening, look back on your life.
Yeah.
If you're with, the love of your life right now, or if you're in your perfect job or perfect business, if you're living in the greatest, home, your dream home, think of the things that led you to get to that point.
Yeah, it's funny how everyone always says, oh, it was luck. But I know I've told you this, and I was like, no, there's no such thing as luck.
No, there is not.
Everything, as we all, hence the name of our show, it's all connected. Everything really is connected. Right. And I guess as humans, like you were saying, we're so disconnected because our phones, our jobs, our kids, whatever it may be, we don't pay attention to the path that we're going down. But yeah, that's a good homework assignment for our viewers and listeners to do to this week. Really think, okay, here I am. How did I get here?
Right. The second insight is, as more of us awaken to this mystery, we will create a completely new worldview, redefining the universe as energetic and sacred.
Girl.
And I think that, I'm gonna give the pandemic some praise, I guess, because I do believe that many people have woken up.
I agree.
Because they've been spending so much time alone.
Yeah.
And because of that, they do have a new view of the world. And they're questioning, well, why is there a war? Why is there genocide? Why are people not able to find food to eat? Why are rents and mortgages so high? People are beginning to question the world system, and they're redefining the universe and noticing we're not just walking on dirt and gravel, but there is energy, there is goodness coming from the earth that actually can keep us, heal us.
Yep, can keep us, heal us, mold us into who we need to be.
Yeah.
It's funny, we mentioned this movie a lot, but it's literally like The Matrix. It really is. Like, the panoramic we went through, it's like everyone was forced to literally unplug.
Yeah.
And your eyes were readjusted, and you're like, wait a minute, this is the world I've been living in all this time? What?
Yeah. And
so true.
That's another film I think that has changed many lives.
Oh, girl.
The Matrix. But anyway,
that's another podcast. Third insight. We will discover that everything around us, all matter, consists of the stems from a divine energy that we are beginning to see and understand.
I love that, because there was a time where I feel the world was a bit disillusioned. We had sort of lost our way, because, and I'm going to say, with the development of technology and knowledge sharing, opinion sharing, sometimes that can get in the way of our relationship with our higher selves, with our divine source, whether that be the universe, whether that be God, whatever your divine source is.
Yeah.
And we become disillusioned and we kind of disconnect from those relationships that are so important. But now we're realizing that we don't have to depend on our life source. We can totally depend on divine energy, that we can actually have a relationship and understand it through stillness, practicing taking care of your body, taking care of your mental health.
It's funny, now it's more about being simple as opposed to making things so complex and confusing, because everyone's opinion is piling up in your brain and you're just, you can't focus. But I love how everything now, people are taking their lives back and saying, you know what, I'm going to make this simple. If I feel stressed, I'm going to take off my little shoes, go outside and ground, or close my eyes, or meditate, or take a nap. I love that, what you said. It's true. We're starting to get more simple.
Fourth insight From this perspective, we can see that humans have always felt insecure and disconnected from this sacred source and have tried to take energy by dominating each other. This struggle is responsible for all human conflict. That is one of the most realist insights.
It's so funny because it's so self-explanatory.
Girl.
Like,
so first of all, let's break it down.
like,
right? Let's break it down. Trying to take energy by dominating each other.
So
what
sad.
has been going on the planet since the beginning of time? War. People fighting over nations, fighting
Land.
over land,
people,
killing
everything.
to get land, killing to get diamonds,
Yeah.
killing to get ownership of something. This is all what has been happening. It
So
is
true.
the struggle that is responsible for all human conflict.
Yep.
And I think that also the mention of always feeling insecure and disconnected from this sacred source is also a part of the problem.
Oh,
If
definitely.
we could all connect more, and we are not the only people on podcasts or on YouTube saying this.
Right.
There are many mindful creators, mindful coaches, healers, whatever it is, that are out here saying we've disconnected from the sacred source, and that is why we cannot experience peace. If everyone was ready to connect to that source.
What a world that would be. Hey everyone. So our camera was so much into our convo that it died.
Our camera died, but the good thing is the audio did not die on the mic. So if you want to hear the next 6 to 9 insights in our spiritual talk, check out the podcast. We have a link below where you can find it.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll just make this fast because we don't know how much time is left on our camera. But we hope you enjoyed our conversation. As Carcia said, do go and check out the full podcast wherever you stream podcasts. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up so we can get this video all across the land. Our website, visit brightmindsetproject.com. Check out our programs, our freebies, free clarity call.
Give us a dial.
Give us a
Well,
dial.
send us an email and we'll call you.
Thank you guys so much for your support, for your love. We really enjoyed that you guys enjoy us. So until next time, bye.